What's going on, everyone? Thanks for checking out this video. Today we're going to look at a Fat Tire e-bike that's more on the budget conscious side of things. This is the Freesky Eurostar Ultra, and it retails at $13.49. And actually, when I looked this morning, it was priced at $11.99. So for those of you shopping for maybe your very first e-bike, or maybe you just have a limited budget, let me show you what you can get in that $1,200 to $1,300 price range. Now, in previous reviews, I've showed you the Freesky Warrior Pro, which had dual suspension and dual 1,000-watt motors priced at $18.49, and also the Freesky Swift Horse, which had 1,000-watt motor, dual suspension, 35-mile-an-hour speed, rack and fenders, all that included at $16.49. But today we're going to focus on the Eurostar, which is the more budget-friendly bike in Freesky's lineup. Now, even with it being their budget bike, you still got some great features. You got a suspension fork up front, a single rear suspension shock in the back, 4-piston hydraulic brakes with 180mm disc, a 48-volt, 23-amp-hour frame-integrated battery pack, color display, it's got the NFC security feature, and 1,000-watt rear hub motor. Now, one of the first things I usually point out about these Fat Tire bikes is that they are big. I know they don't look big online, but trust me, in person, this is a large bicycle. I'm 6 feet tall, and they fit me really well. But if you're like 5'7" or less, it's probably gonna feel a little big for you. But if you can manage the size of the Eurostar, it's a pretty good ride quality because you got the dual suspension. Let me show you that experience. All right, ride quality on the Eurostar. I'd say the ride quality is pretty good on this bike. I mean, the ride position, you lean a little bit forward. It's a typical bicycling position. You know, some of the newer bikes have those BMX bars on them and they're really upright. That's not this bike. You lean a little bit forward, but it's super comfortable. I mean, I have no problem reaching the ground or reaching the bars. I'm 6 feet tall. I have long arms and legs. Minimum seat height, 33.5 inches. So if you come to me and say, I'm 5'4", can I ride this bike? I mean, yeah, you can ride it. You're probably not gonna get your feet flat on the ground. So if that doesn't bother you, go for it. But I'd say maybe 5'6", 5'7", and up would be a good height for this one. Really like the seat. Great choice on the seat, very soft and plush. And then coupled with the rear suspension, it's a pretty cushy ride. Suspension-wise, front forks, I mean, they spring okay. I'm not bottoming them out at all, so that's good. They feel all right. Obviously, it's not a high dollar part on this bike, but I wish it had some compression adjustment in it. But other than that, it feels okay. For the rear suspension, that actually feels pretty good. Of all the Freesky bikes I've been on, the Swift Horse, the Warrior, I would say the Eurostar is probably the softest one. I can show it working here, honey. But it's got a soft seat on it, and the rear shock, I think, travels a little bit more than the other ones do. So I don't mind the rear suspension either. For a $1,300 bike, it's pretty good that it has full suspension, and then it's pretty soft ride. I don't have any really desire to change out the rear shock on this one. I changed it on the Swift Horse because it was pretty stiff. This one feels softer. All right, here's a bumpy section of roots we can try. I mean, you don't even have to get off the seat, so that's a big plus. I've had way worse suspensions on bikes that cost a lot more than this. Let's hit it a little bit faster on the way back. No problem. So although it's not top of the line suspension, it works. I mean, truthfully, the softness of the seat helped out quite a bit too. To control the Eurostar, they give you a thumb throttle, 7 mechanical gears, and a Cadence sensor for your pedal assist system. Here's what that's like. First thing is your 7-speed bicycle gears here, your mechanical gears. I've had no issue shifting through all of those. So you got 7 speeds to pick from, all good there. The next way you can control it is the thumb throttle, which will take you up to 20 miles an hour and then cut out. It's capped at 20 miles per hour, so you don't even have to pedal. If you want to get all the speed out of the bike, you got to pedal. Your pedal assist is right here with these plus and minus buttons. Pedal assist 1 takes you to about 9 miles an hour. 2 takes you to about 15 miles an hour. It's a speed-based system, so each bump up on the pedal assist is going to take you to a higher speed. 3 takes you up to, I mean, you're up and rolling. It takes you to 20 something, like 22 very easily. And then, 4 and 5 are going to take you, over 30 miles an hour. The pedal assist is a Cadence sensor, so it's just going to recognize whenever the pedals are turning and start delivering you power. Doesn't matter how hard you push or how little you push, or even if you push at all, you don't have to push at all. You can just spin them like this and it's gonna kick in and give you a bunch of power. So that's the important thing to know. Cadence sensor, and it's a speed-based system. You get about 1 full rotation on the pedals before the pedal assist sensor picks up and kicks in. So here we go, pedal, kick in, 1 rotation. Stop, pedal, kick in. It's exactly 1 full rotation before the pedal assist kicks in. So no surprises on the controls, everything worked just fine. I will point out though that they sell that throttle unlock controller if you want to get rid of the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit on your throttle. Buy that controller, it's like 150 bucks, plug it in and it takes the limits off this completely and you can go as fast as you want on throttle only. But let me show you how the bike performs in its stock form. All right, let's show you what this Eurostar is capable of in the speed department. So throttle only, it's only gonna take me to 20. So to get the full speed out the pedal, let's bump it up to gear 7, pedal assist 5, and it's a cadence sensor, so I just gotta rotate the pedals, all I'm gotta push. But we're up to 30, no problem. It's cruising, man. All right, 32, 33, 34 on the GPS, 35 on the bike. No effort for me, just turning the pedals. It feels very strong. I mean, they claim 33 miles an hour on their website, and it's doing that very easily. 34. So, I mean, great speed out of a $1,300 e-bike. That's pretty impressive. That is not common to see that kind of speed out of a, what I'll call a budget e-bike. We're working our way over here to the hill climb. We test all the bikes right here in the same hill. We time them going up. Your average bike usually does this about 22, 25 seconds, somewhere in that time frame. We got a 1,000-watt motor in this one, so let's see how torquey it is. We're gonna do throttle only. All right, get a good look at the watts here while we do it too. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we're at 800, 900, 1,000 watts. Flashing over to 1,100, holding that back at 1,100 watts. Going 10 miles an hour. I mean, climbing, no problem. This is no help for me. This is just throttle only. Gets a little steeper right here. Flashing over to 1,200 watts. I would say this is probably right in that average mark. I'm gonna guess it, 23 seconds, somewhere in there, but plenty of hill climb power in it. It almost feels like this one's kind of better at the top end speed than the down low torque, but still has plenty of hill climb power. You can see we got locked into cruise control because I was holding the throttle down, so we're in cruise right now. Let's show you an acceleration on the Eurostar. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, go. So it's not a set you back in your seat, snappy off the line. It's a controllable, nice, strong, even pull. I mean, it doesn't feel slow or lacking. I mean, I got no problem with this at all. I'll do it again for you here so you can get a good look at it. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, good. Good even pull. Smooth accelerations, okay hill climb power, great top speed. I mean, it seemed better suited for the high speed riding where you can get on a straight stretch and just open it up instead of like really steep hill climbing. It felt better at the top end. And this 1,000-watt motor in the Eurostar didn't feel quite as punchy or quite as strong as the one in the Swift Horse. I don't know what the difference there, if it's in the internal motor windings or the fact they're a different brand. It wasn't quite as punchy as the Swift Horse 1,000-watt motor, but this one was way quieter. So if that's important to you, the quietness of the motor, this is a very, very quiet motor. And this Eurostar bike shares the same braking system as the other Freesky bikes I've tested, and they were smooth, quiet, they felt solid. I mean, they're 4-piston brakes, 180mm disc. Here's some clips on that. All right, we're coming back down the hill, 20 plus miles an hour. Let's do a brake check. I'm gonna try not to skid the tires. Wow, very smooth and controllable. They're nice brakes. I don't know how expensive these are, these semi-log brakes, but I mean, they're 4-piston caliper brakes. They work really well. They're smooth, they're quiet. You can lock up the back tire anytime you want. They're strong. I'm happy with them. Freesky puts these on all the bikes. They were the same ones that were on the this is Eurostar, the Warrior and also the Swift Horse. And I like them. I like them. Now, every bike I've tested from Freesky has had this NFC Smart Key technology for the display. So this is how you turn the bike off and on. You just hold this up to the display screen, the bike will turn on. Same thing to turn it off, just hold this up on the screen, it shuts off. There is a power button on the button cluster, but if you push that to try to turn the bike on, it's gonna prompt you for a password. So the only way you're gonna get on this bike and ride it is either knowing the passcode to get in or having this smart key here. I think it's helpful technology just to keep people out of this bike. So what are the sacrifices being made here to create more of a budget e-bike? Well, the first thing I'm gonna say is suspension. It's a non-adjustable suspension. Now, although it felt pretty good for me at 180 pounds, if you were a lot lighter or a lot heavier than me, maybe the suspension wouldn't work for you. So it's great that it's got dual suspension, but you can't adjust it for rider weight. So the next thing I'll mention is that it's a cadence sensor for your pedal assist system. So the bike's giving you power based on if the pedals are turning, they're rotating, and also what speed you're going. And it works just fine. But if you wanted a more natural feeling to the power delivery where the power the bike's giving you is based on the pressure you're putting on the pedal, you'd need a torque sensor for that. But if you want those higher end parts, you got to pay for those. And the last sacrifice I'll say is it's just missing some of the creature comforts, no fenders, no rear rack, no tail light, brake light. Freesky does sell an aftermarket cycling package, which includes a lot of that stuff. So for 180 bucks, you can make the bike look like this. That cycling package will give you full wraparound fenders, both front and back, a rear rack, a really nice rear bag that goes on the rack, a battery powered taillight, phone holder, bottle holder, and just a bunch of stuff that makes this bike more functional. But for the price point, I think they're coming through with some solid features. I mean, you got really great speed, you got solid brakes, dual suspension, the NFC Smart Key security feature, a 23 amp hour battery pack, which is on the larger side. You'll just have to decide what features and components are important to you and if this one matches your needs or not. But I'll list all the specs to this bike in the description below so you can see them at a quick glance. I'll put a link to the bike in case you want to check it out further. If I missed anything, put your questions in the comments. I'll do my best to answer if I can. And as always, I hope you found this helpful, informative, maybe entertaining. If you did, consider hitting subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.